Hi and welcome back to Bride Society. Now, if you're new to this channel, I'm Laura and I'm one half of Bride Society, and alongside making these videos I also have a wedding cake business. Now, today is Monday the 10th of February, and on Sunday the 16th I'm actually exhibiting a wedding fair with my wedding cakes. So for this video we thought I would take you on like a week in the life, behind the scenes of what it's like prepping for a wedding fair. So I've done a few fairs before, so I have got some things that I'm going to reuse, so everything's not completely new, but I've looked at some inspiration, just how to freshen up the stand. And today there's not an awful lot of prep going on, but I've got some admin for the business to do, answering some emails that came in over the weekend. But I'm also waiting on some deliveries, so I've ordered some new business cards, so when people come to wedding fairs it's easy to give them something with all my information on. And I'm also waiting on something for the backdrop for my stand. So I'm reusing a scaffolding frame that we made out of some scaffolding poles, but instead of just doing what I've done before, we're doing something a bit different this time. So let's go and get on with these emails, and then I'll show you when the deliveries arrive. Okay, so the first delivery of the day has arrived, so let's go and have a look to see what these business cards are like. Okay, so these business cards are from a company called Moo, and the reason I chose Moo to get them printed was because you can have a different picture on the front. Well, you can have a selection of pictures on the front of your card, as well as then the same information on the back. So I've chosen a selection of cakes that I think people might like, and it's especially good at a wedding fair when, if people are discussing the style of cake that they're after, I can potentially give them a picture of something that they're interested in. So at the end of the day, when they're looking through their bag that they've collected at the wedding fair, they can see that I've already given them an idea that I can do something that they're in the style that they're after, and they can remember who they're talking to as well. So yeah, I've just got all my details, kind of social media, website address, email on the back of all of them, and then yeah, a selection of different styles of cakes that I've done. Really happy with these, and these are soft touch as well, which is really nice. Morning, it's now Tuesday, and the other delivery I was waiting for yesterday, the wire mesh, arrived last night. So that's great news. It means I know that's here and I can crack on with my plans for that. So I thought I'd give you a bit more information about what my plan is for the wedding fair on Sunday. So as I said yesterday, I am reusing some of the bits and bobs that I've either bought or made for previous wedding fairs for this one. This obviously keeps the cost down a bit, because there is a financial cost to attending these and exhibiting at these wedding fairs. Organisers obviously have to rent a space and they do all the organising, and so you pay for the stand and then pay for what you want your stand to look like, in the hope that you'll get customers and you can meet couples who then want to book you for your services. The particular wedding fair I am exhibiting at really encourages creativity rather than just kind of a table with a tablecloth on and my cakes just on there. They want people to kind of show off what they can do. They want couples to be able to be like engaged and enthusiastic about all the things they're seeing, from regardless of what kind of service you offer. They want the kind of the trends being put out there and just really making it the best experience for everyone. And that means more people come through the doors, and you potentially get the customers that fit your brand. So I'll sneak peek into my expertly drawn rough idea for my stand. So as I said, I've got this scaffolding frame that we made, I think, a year or so ago. In the past I've put fabric behind, I've hung cakes from this frame, but this time I'm going to use the wire mesh that was delivered yesterday, and I've got a very exciting order of dried flowers and palm stems coming on Friday to create some sort of floral arrangement on that for the background. So I'm either going to, it's not fully decided yet, this is how last minute some things are. I need to obviously display my business logo so everyone can see who I am. So I'm either going to do some sort of arrangement around that, or I'm going to create some sort of floral arrangement on its own on the background and then figure out somewhere else to put the business logo. And also last time my lovely husband created some wooden plinths for me to present the cakes on, and these, we kind of went for a bright pinks and yellows, things like that, colour scheme for that one, with really bright vibrant flowers. So this time we're kind of paring it back, and I think we said in our previous trends video for 2020 that one of the big trends in weddings is this more like neutral colour scheme. So I'm going to run with that. So the flowers that I've got will all match that kind of pared back colour scheme, and I want the rest of the stand to reflect that as well, so it all ties in nicely together. So my plan is over the next few days to repaint the plinths. I'm going to use them again because I think it worked really well. It was a nice way to kind of give each cake the focal point that it deserved, but we're going to change the colours up a bit and then figure out somewhere to put some maybe pictures of other cakes I've done so people can get an idea of what other things that I can do, or need somewhere for the business cards, things like that. So everything is still slightly uncertain, but as the week progresses we'll get a more definite idea of what's actually happening. So typically at a wedding fair, I will have made maybe 3 or 4 different display cakes to give people an idea of the style of cakes that I create generally, and just to kind of show off any new ideas that I want an excuse to try. Basically, it gives me an opportunity to use those skills and try something new without necessarily having someone already having ordered it, especially because all my cakes are bespoke. So I will do the style of cake that a couple wants within reason. One of the main questions I get asked at a wedding fair, apart from kind of the general logistics about specific people's weddings, are the display cakes real? And sometimes I will have maybe one real cake. If I want to show a semi-naked cake or a naked cake, something like that, it's very difficult to do that, create that's not real. So yes, sometimes. The rest of the time it's probably polystyrene, so a fake cake essentially. And these dummies, they're called cake dummies. They've been used before, so they're a bit bashed up. This one's had a few gouges taken out of it, but they're still perfectly usable, so I'll reuse these over and over again. So once I've created one display cake, after it's come to the end of its use, I can then take all the icing off, scrape it all off, and then I can reuse it again. So it just reduces the waste created for the wedding fair, and if I do make a real cake, then that is very happily eaten at the end of the day. So at some point we will actually get on to creating the cakes for this wedding fair, but probably later in the week, when all the other jobs are done. I'll probably spend a whole day, maybe on Friday, just decorating the cake dummies, ready for setting up on Saturday. That's another thing. It varies from fair to fair, depending on the size of the wedding fair or just the venue that it's at. It will vary whether you can go and set up the day before, which is obviously less rushing around the day of, or whether you have to set up on like the morning of the wedding fair. So for this one, we can set up on Saturday afternoon. We've got a time slot when we can go and unload all our bits, and then it means that on Sunday we can just take any final last bits that we might need. So I'll be creating some goodie bags for people if we have a chat about a cake, and they can take a little goodie bag away which will have a cupcake in, so they can have a kind of a pre-tester on what the cake is like, and then it means they might want to take it further if they've enjoyed the cake. They have spoken to me about the style of cake they want and think, yes, that might be a good fit, then they can get in touch. They know that I can bake, essentially, and they can arrange to come for a consultation where they can try some other different flavours of cake, and we can talk about things in more detail. And we've got a video about what to expect from a cake consultation, which I will link in the description box. Good morning on Wednesday. It's almost midday now, and I've been spending most of my morning filming the Valentine's biscuit layer cake DIY, which should be up on our channel already. So if you fancy making one of these, we're showing you how to do that. And then the rest of the afternoon will be probably editing that video, because obviously it's got to be up for Friday, and I'm going to paint my wooden plinths today. So I've decided on the colours, I think, on how I'm going to paint them, using just some leftover tester pots that I've got knocking around from last time, and also from decorating the house. I'm going to see if I can use any of those colours if I think they're suitable. And yeah, last night I spent some time just trying to finalise some of the designs, kind of laying out the polystyrene dummies just to see what kind of proportion I wanted the cakes to be, and then just thinking about how I want the final design to look. Now this is quite fluid generally in the run up to a wedding fair. I'll have a fair idea of what kind of cake I want to make, and then as we go along and actually I'm doing it, it might vary slightly. The main thing will be waiting for the flowers that I've got to put on the cakes. They're arriving on Friday, so plans may change a little bit when I see actually what I've got to play with. But I'm getting sent lots of options, so there will definitely be something that I can use. So it's Thursday morning and I've just had an unexpected delivery of the flowers for the stand. These weren't meant to be arriving until tomorrow, so this is great that they're here early. It means I've got more time to play around with them. Now, there's just a selection, the person who sent the flowers has just put their own selection of things from what I said I needed, so I've got not really much of an idea what's in this box, so let's have a look. So I sent Yasmin at Little Dried Blooms just a rough idea of the colours I was maybe thinking of, and then she was able to put together a selection of things she thought I might like. I said I was pretty flexible. These should be these amazing palm fans. So I think these are going to go on the backdrop. Somehow. So these are the plinths that we've got to work with. We've got quite a bright yellow colour over here, the green and the pink. Now the yellow one is definitely changing, and I've got this kind of neutral tester pot, and I'm going to try that and see what it looks like on it. And then I was going to make this more of a pale pink because I've got some of this paint still and mix it with some white, but I'm not sure. I'm going to see what the flowers look like with it, because we did have some brighter pink flowers in the delivery this morning, and then I'm not sure yet about the green. I'm thinking we might leave the green, but again we'll see when everything's put together, just to check that the colours work. Good morning on Friday. So today is going to be a busy day covering the display cakes. So yesterday I was doing some painting of the stand, so the wooden plinths, I was repainting those, and also I baked a couple of tiers for a real semi-naked cake that I'm going to put on display. But today is covering the polystyrene cakes and just finishing all the last bits and bobs ready to set up tomorrow. So the last job I've got to do before heading out for the wedding fair is put together these goodie bags. Now I do about 15 of these brown paper bags, and each one has a cake in it. These are lemon with lemon curd in the middle and lemon curd buttercream. They get the information about what the cake is and a little discount code, just for if you chat to me at the show, as a bit of an incentive to book. Of course, they get a business card. These are the ones I showed you earlier in the week with the information on the back. And then also I put in a Bride Society card as well, just to share information about the channel. Okay, so the day of the wedding fair is here. The weather is horrible, but hopefully lots of people are going to come out. All the stand was set up yesterday, so we've just come along with the box of samples for the goodie bags, and then just ready and waiting for people to come and talk to me about some cake.